Hello everyone, it's me, Robert, back for the second auto-assembly video. Yes, don't worry, this isn't going to be as long as the previous one, and an hour and 3 minutes, that's just ridiculous. And if you are one of those mad people that have watched it all, if you can, because apparently according to, from my end, it looks like it's still published, processing, but hey, never mind. Yeah, but if you did watch it all the way through, I respect that a lot because, wow, it's too long for a video. Anyway, I am here to talk about the bots because obviously that's a big part of auto-assembly. Not as big as the socialising, but then again, some people do go there just for the bots. And yeah, I'm getting through the AA blues. It's a bit better today. I'm slowly getting back to normal life. Yesterday was just shock because it was going from AA to holiday, and that's a very weird experience, let me tell you. But today I feel slightly better. So let's do this in chronological order at best. Let's start with the Friday. Now on the Friday I had already arranged to pick this bot up from my good friend Ian. As he said he would sell it to me for a really cheap price, and it's a figure that I've been after for quite a while. Now, most of you will know how big a Shockwave fan I am. In fact, I did have it on a t-shirt one day of AA. So when he said, "Oh, I've got a Alternators Shock Blast for you for a tenner. Do you want it?" "Yes, please. Yes." This is awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ian. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Because this is a bot I've been after for a very, very long time. It's sealed, it has never been opened, mint in box, it looks fantastic. I'm actually getting into the Alternators line and the Binary line nowadays, so this is the second one of these I've picked up. I really like it. Just thank you for selling it to me for such a steal price. And not only that, he also gave me one of these, a Starfleet comm badge. Now, obviously, it's not the badge like you get if you're doing a replica costume. It is a pin, but it is such nice. It's such good quality, and in my opinion, it could be one just as well. It's so brilliant. Thank you very much. I don't want to touch it too much because I get all my dirty fingerprints over it. And he also gave me the command pin, so thank you. That seems. What I need to do now is get a Star Trek uniform. I'm not one for dressing up, so that may not happen. And on top of that, now I am skipping ahead a bit, but it still ties in with Ian and the sharing aspect. On top of that, on the Saturday, I was sitting there just before the meetup of the Transformers YouTube community, and he was like, "Oh, I've got these, by the way. Here you go, have them for free." I was like, "What? You don't have to, Ian, but thank you very much." They are issues 4 and 5 of the second, or is it the third Dreamwave run? It's basically the issues with Sunstorm. So there is issue 4 with Sunstorm bursting out of Omega Supreme's head, looking really good, and it actually goes in with something else that I brought later on, and issue 5 with Jetfire, Bumblebee and a Cliffjumper. Now, thank you very much. And I did take a brief look through them. Yeah, they are just as I remember with Dreamwave. Big bots, chunky bots. That's what you got with Dreamwave. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Dreamwave art was, yeah, it was. But I cannot turn down a free gift, and especially as I really do want to pick up more Dreamwave comics. So thank you once again, Ian. You were awesome this year. Next year, sir, I will have something for you. I definitely will. I've got to try and think what, but there will be something going to you next year. I promise. Right. So yeah, I picked that up and was like, this is pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to it. The second thing I picked up was, again, another free gift, although kind of free, but basically last year when Raz used to do the Skype Sundays, all of us chipped in to buy Jim a bumblebee for his birthday, and you've probably seen the video in which he opens it and is like, "Oh, it's a bumblebee! Thank you, everyone." But when Steve actually brought the bumblebee, he brought a lot which had a couple of other mini bots in, and he was like, "Well, all the people that paid, do you want one?" And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be quite cool." And I completely had forgotten about it. And then AA comes along the Friday. Steve's like, "Oh, by the way, here's the bag. Choose which one you want." And so I was like, "What? Oh, thank you very much." And in the bag there was Outback, Swerve, and Windcharger. And as much as I like Swerve, the character, his recent portrayal of More Than Meets the Eye, there is only one person that I could have picked out of that bag, and that's this Generation 1 Outback in a very, very nice condition. The chrome is still really nice. His head does have slight painting issues to it, and the stickers are a bit but then again, that's what retro labels are for. His leg is slightly loose, but it's still in just perfect-ish condition, and I just love it. I love this mini bot. This is the first G1 mini bot I have ever got, and I have to say, it is my favourite. So, once again, thank you, Tomo, for doing this. It's just brilliant. Really, really is. Thank you. This will go pride of place now on my collection. And, I mean, like, Outback, come on. The reason I chose it was because of his portrayal in Spotlight Cup. If you haven't read that, go and read it. It's a brilliant comic. So, yes, just thank you to both Steve, Tomo, and Ian for the free gifts. I didn't expect any of that was on its way, so it was just a lovely surprise and a good way to start off AA. Now then, moving on to the actual purchase of Friday, or should I say, moving on to the purchase of Saturday, because that's when I actually did buy the first thing, and that was, well, it was a thing I've been after for a very long time. Ever since Fans Projects first did their Not Insecticons, I have been like, they look good, I really want to get them, but I'm not sure. And then they came along with their repaints of the Deluxe Insecticons with the remold, and I was like, oh, I need that, I need it. However, they were only a exclusive, I believe, for, and I forget the website now, but it was basically like a holiday exclusive, Christmas exclusive. I was like, well, I'm never going to see them, am I? However, this year, I was actually surprised, because I did. I saw two of them. I saw one on the fans table, which was a bit more expensive, and it was probably open, so I'm not sure why. But then I saw one on Kapow, and I was like, I'm having that. This was the only thing I brought on the Saturday. Well, actually, no, this is the main thing I brought on the Saturday, and I'm glad I did. And so, yeah, it is the Fans Project Causalities, the Crossfire Squad, or as I know them, Barrage, Ransack, and Chop Shop, looking really nice, really, really nice. There's the back. 80 quid for these. Now, they retailed at 100 quid, and a little bit more, depending on where you got them from, when they first were released. So I was like, 80 quid? Yes, please, I'm getting that. And I have taken them out. I've tried to transform Chop Shop, but I sort of like, it got to a point where I was like, I'm not quite sure what to do and I don't want to break them, so I'll wait until I've got back to transform them. But they are brilliant. They come with guns this time, not some weird ninja thing like the original 3 did. However, I do want to still pick up the original 3, and I'll get the extra guns, because this didn't come with the green little bag full of guns that you got by purchasing it through the... I still can't remember the name of the shop, but I'm just so glad I got these. I love these things. These are brilliant. This is why third party for me recently has just stepped up the game, because they're bringing us stuff like this. All we need now is a Venom. Get on it, Fans Project. Give us a Venom so I can complete the 4 of them. And yeah, so the next thing, and Luke Hollywood, who I've probably heard me drone on enough about in the previous video. That guy, jeez, Luke. As I said, I was sitting there at meal, and Luke was like, hey, look what I just got. And I was like, I need that. I really do. And for 10 quid, it was a steal. That is the TFCon exclusive from 2012, the repaint of the iGears Huffer, Shafter. Or, as we would know him, Erector. This thing is brilliant. It's just 10 quid for this, even though it says 15, got it for 10. It's worth it, by far. Even just for this hilarious bio on the back, which has so many innuendos, it's unbelievable. And I will be reading that out at some point on the podcast, so look forward to that when we come to do our post-AA show. But yeah, this little guy is just brilliant. I was playing around with him at the dinner table on this Saturday evening. He's just so much fun. I cannot express you to try and pick up one of these because it's so worth it. And plus, like, it's just the amount of jokes that came from Shafter is, well, there were so many that it's beyond count, really. Although if you listen to the recording we did at AA, then you'll probably hear Shafter being mentioned a lot. But yeah, brilliant. So that was the Saturday. On to the Sunday, and the Sunday was when I sort of just went all out on bots. And because, let's face it, I was like, well, if I don't buy anything today, I'm only going to go away with a couple of things. I was like, right, I need to start buying, and I need to start buying quickly. And so Jim got a Cybertron Black Zarak, I think is the name of it. It's the slightly re-sculpted version of the Energon Scorponok, and I was like, that looks really nice. I really need to get a version of the mould. Now, there's been one version of this mould which I have been dying to get ever since I found out it existed. And Rob Hayes, who does a YouTube channel, reviewed this figure, and I was like, oh, I really like that. Where did you get it from? I need to get one. He was like, well, I got it from a friend in America. So I just kind of forgot about it, went out of my mind. Come to the Sunday, I was walking around, and I briefly had a look at a store with all the nice BotCon exclusives on, and then I see it in a plastic bag near the back for about 65 quid, and I was like, yes, I need to get that. And I managed to get it down to 60, and that version is the BotCon, and I'm not sure what year it was from. It could have been, it was slightly early. I know that they also, in the same year, they also had the repaint of the Armada Megatron, but I'm not entirely sure what year it was from. But anyway, that being BotCon Double Punch. This thing is heaven. It is just glorious, absolutely glorious. Now, me being a huge fan of the cons, I'm a con fan for life. It just pleases me so much. I mean, even the vibrant colours that look very G2-ish, because it's based on the original Action Master, the Transforming Action Masters that came out near the very end of Generation 1. I just think work so well. The pink, the weird sort of green, the orange, it pops so well. And of course this mould is brilliant. I love this mould. I have transformed it from its Scorpion mode, which it was in when I got it, to its robot mode, and I will try and transform it to its jet mode, but it's just brilliant. I absolutely love this. I would suggest if you can try and pick up a version of this mould, get it. You might not necessarily want to get Double Punch, because Double Punch is a really obscure character in the Transformers, but I really do like it, and I think it fits Double Punch's character so well. The one thing is that the elbows can break easily, which is why I'm just like, every time I want to transform it or move the elbows, I have to be a bit careful, because I really, really don't want them snapping. But yes, I'm so grateful I found this. The next thing, which actually wasn't a purchase, this was, again, a gift from a very, very kind person. I was sitting down for lunch on the Sunday, and suddenly I get a tap at the shoulder. I turn around, and it's Amy. And she's like, I have something for you. And she gives me this. Transformers vs. G.I. Joe, the Free Comic Book Day exclusive. Now, I already have a copy of this. And then I notice this little thing here. Signed by Tom Scioli. That's awesome. Tom Scioli is the writer of the series, and I'm a huge fan of the series. I've been on the Underbase recently and done reviews on it, and I'm just like, thank you very much, because I appreciate this so much. Tom Scioli, he wasn't at Auto Assembly, and from what I've found out about how Amy got this, it was at BotCon this year, and she got it signed, and she gave it to me, and I'm like, oh, that moment was just one of those standout moments at Auto Assembly in which people's kindness shone through, and you realised why you love the people there so much. It really is a very thoughtful gift. Thank you, Amy. Thank you to anyone else who was involved in actually getting this and getting it signed by him and then getting it to me at Auto Assembly. I was like shocked, really. I was speechless, and that doesn't really happen normally with me. But just the thought that went into it. Thank you. Now then, the last two big purchases were the things I got near the very end of Sunday. And the first thing is, it's third party once again, but it's a third party bot that I have been after ever since I saw it released. Yet I've never really wanted to pay the price for it. Now, when I tell you how much I paid for this, you'll probably think I'm mad, but I kind of think it's worth it just because of how good this is and the fact that I very much doubt Hasbro will ever release a version of this character, because I don't think he has many fans. That is the Fans Projects Warbot Assaulter, the Fans Projects version of Broadside. Now, out of all of the Wreckers, Broadside is my favourite, and I'm not really a Wreckers fan because I like the cons more, but if there was one bot that I had to pick out, it was Broadside. And Fans Project just came along and made a lovely, lovely representation of that, but updated with all of the modern stuff that we love about bots today. And when I saw it, I had to get it. And especially it was at the end of the day, it was one of those things that, alright, I saw it last year and didn't pick it up, so I was like, well, this year I have to pick it up. Now it was, and bear with me, £100. That is quite a lot. I admit, it was quite a lot. But then again, it was one of those purchases that I think, for me, it's worth the money. For other people, for you watching this, it probably isn't. But for me, being a fan of the character, being a fan of the toy, it's worth it. And plus, I'm holding it in my hands now. It's really weighty. It's really heavy. I haven't opened it yet, but you can tell it's good quality already because it's got heft to it. Now, the last thing I purchased was, I suppose this was a bit, it was a bit of, I've got money left and I need to buy something, but I don't want to buy something that I'll regret. So it was almost as if I brought it because I had the money enough to buy it. Now, as you probably already know, I have the Masterpiece Acid Storm, which I really like. I love the new version of the Masterpiece mould. And I've always wanted to get another Seeker who I really do like, and is probably my favourite Seeker out of the original lot. Starscream's good, don't get me wrong, but this bot just somehow worked for me, and it was because of those Dreamwave comics I showed off earlier. That is Masterpiece Takara, not the Hasbro version that recently came out, Sunstorm. Yep, I got a Takara Sunstorm, and yes, it was new, although the box does look a bit worn, but it was new, trust me. And yes, it does come with that lovely coronation gear, which I'm just like, oh, I cannot wait to get my hands on around this bot, because this is just so nice. Now, this is my second Masterpiece, and from the looks of it, I think it might be like that every year I buy a Masterpiece, because they are really, really nice bots. They are pride. Well, Acid Storm at the moment is pride of place in my collection, And when I put Sunstorm next to him, they're both going to shine out because they're well engineered, they're solid figures. Yes, they're quite expensive, but they're worth it in the end. And actually, the guy that was selling this wanted 100 for it, but I managed to get it down to 95. I said 90, but he wouldn't budge, so I was like, well, 95 then, and he went, okay. £95 for a Takara Sunstorm, in my opinion, is great, because last year, it was 200 quid at AA, and I reckon even if you tried to get that down, you wouldn't get it down to 95. So, I am so happy that I have now a Sunstorm. Yeah, he's going to go right next to Acetylon. All we need now is like the other Rainmakers to actually have names so that we can have toys of them, Hasbro. Come on, you know? It makes sense. But hey, that's never going to happen, is it? Right, well that was all of the bots. Now on to some more stuff that I got signed. Firstly, and once again, huge thank you to Livio Ramondelli, not only for coming on the podcast doing an interview with us at AA, but for just the whole of the Saturday evening, just finding out how the techniques, how he draws, sitting down with him, just having a good chat. And so, because of all this, on the Sunday I went up to him. I needed to buy a print of Livio. I needed to buy something because his artwork is phenomenal, and I just wanted something to keep, to remind me of this year and to remind me of how Livio was just such a really good mate. Because yeah, I do class him as a friend now. And so I was like, and so on the on the Saturday evening, he did actually show off his sketchbook, which for me is just so good because there are some sketches in here that you probably haven't seen, unless you're really into your artwork and have researched it quite a lot. But some of this stuff I don't even think has been released anywhere else. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. And it was 10 quid, but because Livio is such a gentleman and just a great guy, he was like £5. I can't argue there. And he also signed it. So yeah, there's the sketchbook with really nice prime on the back and on the front and on the back. And this has some very, very nice artwork. And let me just, where's that page? Where is it? There. The Insecticons by Livio Ramondelli, looking absolutely wonderful. And then a Quintesson. Characters that you don't normally see Livio draw. And I love this. It has characters in here like Unicron, it has the Combiners in here, it has some alternative designs for Soundwave and Shockwave. I love it. I just think this is brilliant. It has Starscream looking so demonic, with wings like flat back. Oh, it's just... If you were there at Auto Assembly and you didn't pick one of these up, then shame on you. Shame on you. I mean, I can understand if you don't like Livio's work, but if you're a fan of his style and you didn't pick one up, then shame. Shame, because you missed out on picking up a lovely, lovely thing that's not only a memento from the occasion, but also just is a way of appreciating Livio's work. Now, the last thing that I got, and I've already told you about how on the Sunday evening I stayed up to God knows how long, with a really interesting conversation between the real survivors, as we've been dubbed now, or whatever they're calling it. And I talked about how David Sobolov just randomly came up to us and was like, hey, who wants a signed business card from me? So I was like, yes please, and so there is the card. And I can't get over the fact that he was just like, hey, just who casually wants a card from me, and I just sign it, you know, in the most relaxed way possible. It was brilliant. But yeah, I just still can't get over the fact that he was so relaxed about giving us a signature and wanting nothing in return for it. Now, next time he's at Auto Assembly, which will probably be a couple of years from now on, I have to buy that man a drink for this because it's brilliant. It really, really is. Especially as I was gonna, if there was, out of all of the voice actors this year, it was him who I actually wanted to get a signature off because he voiced my favourite character in Prime, or, well, my favourite character in Transformers, Shockwave. So getting a business card with not even his signature on, but Shockwave on as well, how could I not resist? Just brilliant. And then of course, the thing that everyone got this year, which was their pass, which I ironically got a Beast Wars character, Depth Charge, on. Now, I haven't watched much of Beast Wars. The stuff I have watched it's alright. It's got its problems. But it's ironic that I got Beast Wars, whereas other people who really like Beast Wars got like G1. It's quite funny, to be honest. But no, I will treasure this, keep this, and yeah, this is going to go with the other two that I have indoors. Now, obviously, everyone got their free comic, which I have taken a look at, and it's really good actually. It ties up most of the universes in just one storyline, and again, Ed Perry, who I believe did the artwork for this, top-notch work, mate. Really top-notch work. Now, I do have the poster elsewhere, but I'm not going to show it off because it's quite large, and to be honest, you've probably all got one if you went there. But yeah, so that really was the haul. It weren't big this year, but the stuff that I did get meant a lot to me. So, really, I think this year beats last year, because last year it was just like, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. And afterwards I was like, well, I like these figures, but some of them maybe I should have paid a bit less for. But this year I'm just happy with everything I got, everything I paid for them, and just some of the things showed how generous, how kind-hearted people are at AA. Now, I cannot thank them people enough, and anyone that gave me a free gift this year is entitled to a drink next year. I make that promise now. I really do. So yeah, that was it really. Thank you for watching this. It's tried to be as short as possible. It's probably going to be still quite long. It's not as long as the last video, I mean it, but yeah, thank you. And thank you to anyone, all of the dealers actually at AA who was selling us all this lovely plastic. Because, yeah, we are just plastic crack addicts in the end of the day, and we do need our fix. And they can supply that. So, until next time, which will probably be in a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, of actually me being in front of the camera, I shall see you then. However, look forward to something from Iconic Reviews coming up on this channel. Hint hint, interview, hint hint, Ramondelli. But until then, bye everyone, and enjoy your day. And don't let yourself get too depressed with the AA blues. Try and slowly get back into life, and use things like Facebook to just remind you of how good Auto Assembly was.